What's up, gamers? Hello and welcome to the channel. With the release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the second one, or whatever you want to call it, I thought it would be fun to go back and revisit the original Modern Warfare trilogy and their campaigns, because honestly, I haven't played them in forever and I hardly remember them. In fact, I haven't played Modern Warfare 3's campaign at all. Alright, so let's start off with not only the first Modern Warfare Call of Duty game, but also one of the best games in the Call of Duty franchise. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the game that started a new age for Call of Duty and helped it craft the series into what it is today. It was almost like a rebrand for the franchise, going from a Modern Warfare 2 setting to a modern setting. Well, technically, at the time of release, the game took place in the future of... It was a different year than the year that it came out. Anyways, details doesn't matter. But it was also like an overhaul of the game, adding things like kill streaks, perks, weapon attachments, and more. Honestly, there are times where games like Call of Duty campaigns are exactly what I want. A story lasting only like 5 to 8 hours, a linear game where you mindlessly shoot waves of enemies, taking you through various different set pieces and settings, putting you in different situations with different weapons, over-the-top action and explosions, memorable characters, and just a short but fun experience. Not only at the time, but even looking back now, it kind of nailed the formula for his campaign. It had a nice balance of different gameplay, like going from a stealth mission to a run and gun mission to an AC-130 to a sniping mission to on-rails turret mission. The story wasn't completely far-fetched, and it still had those action movie moments. It had good characters, and it built up emotion and tension. There are moments in the story that give you a sense of victory, but also moments that make you feel defeated. And to go along with the story and characters, COD 4 just had good gameplay that was fun to play. I don't know what it is about this game exactly, and this might just be nostalgia talking, but I wish modern Call of Duty games felt as good as this game did. It was a simple game with simple perks, few attachments, a decent variety of weapons, and not an overwhelming amount of stuff in the game. It only had 3 kill streaks, simple 3-lane maps. I don't know, man. This game just felt good to play. Also, can I just say, sniping in COD 4 was just incredible. I truly feel like they nailed it in this game. Now, I should note that the replay that I did was on the original Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare game, and I played it on Steam on PC. And this is not the remastered version of the campaign. Oh, speaking of Modern Warfare Remastered, I pre-ordered Infinite Warfare at Best Buy when it came out, and I got COD 4 Remastered, and it came with a little thing that's actually hanging on my wall over here. Let me get it, I'll show you. See, look at this. Isn't this neat? It's out of focus, and I'm not going to take the time to focus it, but it's all the prestige emblems from the game. This has been hanging on my wall since the day I got it. It's gone through like 2 moves with me. It's pretty cool. Oh, I also got a pair of Modern Warfare Remastered socks with the pre-order, which I still have that are in my drawer. I'm not gonna go get it though. They're just socks that say Modern Warfare on it. Maybe I'll get them for the next video, I don't know. Oh, also I should note that I played this game as well as Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 on hard difficulty. I'm usually a normal difficulty kind of guy when it comes to COD campaigns, because like veteran, while it can be easy, it's just not a fun gameplay experience because you're just hiding in cover the whole time. And in fact, playing on hard just for the sake of it, I regret doing. I would have had a lot more fun playing on normal. Oh well, maybe next time. Okay, let's keep this rolling dumpster fire of a video going. Let's jump into the main meat of the video. The story has you playing as different characters, bouncing back and forth between missions, primarily playing as a member of the British SAS, John McTavish, more famously known as Soap. What kind of name is Soap anyway?
Right. What the hell kind of name is Soap, eh? How'd a muppet like you pass selection?
The world may never know. Also, the funniest thing about that line is that there's a member in your group named Gaz. Gaz, that's not even a real word. His name is Gaz, but he's making fun of you for being called Soap. I don't know, man, it's funny. And accompanying Soap on his journey, who you also play at one point, is another member of the SAS, the badass and sexy and incredibly memorable Captain Price. And then you also play as Sergeant Paul Jackson of the US Marines. These 2 groups will bring you across the globe on different missions with the same goal, with a story with intersecting and connecting paths. I don't know how they did it or why it works so well. Most FPS stories characters are so bland and not memorable. But for some reason, the Modern Warfare games just get characters right, and you just remember characters like Soap and Price. You start off as new recruit Soap McTavish in a training grounds area. This is basically where you play the tutorial, and it puts you through an obstacle course that at the end recommends a difficulty setting based on how well you did. This is also a place where I learned that there's a freaking lean feature. What? Like you can lean left and right. It blew my mind. I was shocked. Is this a PC thing only? Was this in the original game and I just don't remember it? Because I'm pretty sure leaning wasn't a thing on the Xbox copy of the game, the one that I played as a child. I don't know, man. Now I'll tell you, I didn't use the feature like at all throughout the campaign because I just never remembered. I also didn't like the buttons. Oh, and also because of modern shooters, within like 10 seconds of playing this game, I tried to slide and then realized, oh yeah, dummy, this is an old game. You can't do that. So the story is basically this. There are two major things happening in this game. One is that there is a coup. I keep saying coup is coup. One is there's a coup happening in Russia where ultranationalist leader Imran Zakhav? Did I say that right? I don't know. It doesn't matter. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm going to say it wrong the entire video. Just don't pay attention to it. Anyways, he's trying to overtake the Russian government. And then number two, there's also a powerful leader in an unnamed Middle Eastern country named Khaled al-Assad. I think I said that relatively close. Who executes the president of the country while it was broadcasted live on television. Which, during the part of that story, you're actually in the shoes of the president, being dragged into a car, driving through this city as people with guns watch you on every corner, dragged out of the car, and then watch al-Assad take a gun, aim it at your head, and kill you. It's honestly pretty metal. Now, it is a bit strange that they just straight up use Russia, but then an unnamed Middle Eastern country, but I guess for the time that this game came out, it was a safe option for them. Al-Assad is also believed to be in possession of a nuclear weapon that is triggering a full-scale invasion of the country by the US to try and stop a potential nuclear attack. Now, I didn't intentionally try to do this, but I do kind of like bounce around at different parts of the game because the game like switches like back and forth to these different locations. I'm trying to like keep them together sort of, and so I kind of like don't go like in order of the missions in the game, but like it's still the story. Playing as the Marine, every level has you going through the war zone that has become this unnamed Middle Eastern country. You invade a TV broadcasting station where you believe al-Assad is broadcasting, but when you finally get there, you find out that it was just a recording on loop. But then a fellow Marine just starts playing hip-hop music and then says, ooh rah.
Roger that, command. Out. Marines, rally up. We got a new assignment. Get your gear and get ready to move out. Let's go.
And then naturally, I blasted every monitor in the room with a shotgun because, well, you gotta. Now, you also go on a mission as Sergeant Paul Jackson where you're going to go rescue a tank team that is stuck out in a bog, where you even pick up javelins and blow up enemy tanks. Now, the craziest thing about this story is that the US actually fails. You don't find al-Assad in time and get word that the nuke is going to go off, so you try to evacuate as fast as you can. And as you're trying to evacuate, a friendly helicopter goes down, and you land to try and rescue them, which you do rescue them, but there just isn't enough time. You take off in your helicopters, and then in this jaw-dropping moment, the nuke goes off, and your helicopter goes down.
We have a confirmed nuclear threat in the city. NEST teams are on site and attempting to disarm. I repeat. Everyone, hang on!
You actually end up surviving the crash, and you crawl your way out of the helicopter onto the streets, but the radiation is just too much, and your character, Sergeant Paul Jackson, dies. It's an absolute wild moment. Also, by the way, in these Call of Duty campaigns, at some point in the game, one of the characters that you are playing as is guaranteed to die. It just happened, okay? And in this game, Sergeant Paul Jackson was that guy. Now, I don't know if it's supposed to be implied that you stopping your helicopter to land and go rescue them was a result of you dying to the explosion, or if it was inevitable either way. But I think it was an interesting moment for that to happen, and then you still just end up dying anyways. I don't know. It was like a really neat and super memorable moment for Call of Duty, I think. Now, I didn't go in order of the missions you play in the game. I just kind of want to like condense all of the US Marine stuff together and then all of the SAS stuff together. I feel like it would have been easier. I don't know. Now, on the British SAS side of things, you first invade a cargo ship, believed to have a dangerous package. And it's actually there that you learn about the possible nuke in the hands of Al-Assad. The cargo ship is attacked, and it starts to go down. You try and make your escape as the ship is filling with water and rocks heavily back and forth before you make your badass leap of escape onto a helicopter. It's a pretty rad first mission. You come in on a helicopter, it's pouring rain out, you sneak onto this ship, you take guys out, you go inside, you find the package, and then shit starts happening. The ship's going down, it's swaying back and forth, and you're trying to run through these hallways back up to the surface of the boat and then jump. It's a neat little mission. You then go to invade a Russian ultranationalist camp to rescue your informant on the inside, a Russian loyalist codenamed Nikolai. This mission is pretty fun, filled with night vision, stealth kills, sniping, grenade launching, and just a grand old time. Now, to rescue Nikolai, you actually kill power to the house you believe Nikolai is in. You roll in with your night vision goggles, take them all out without them even knowing where you are, and then you rescue Nikolai. And then, while escaping on a helicopter after retrieving Nikolai, you get shot down. And then you're running through fields and hiding in barns and farmhouses, trying to make it to safety as this helicopter and enemy soldiers are chasing you. And then you jump into the shoes of some AC-130 operator to provide air support so that Captain Price, Soap, and the rest of the team can escape. It's kind of overdone in video games now, but at the time, this moment in the game was so freaking cool. This mission was amazing. It was so cool to be operating this AC-130 and taking people out from above. You can toggle heat vision on and off, switch between 3 different weapons on the AC-130. You can fire one weapon, and then as that weapon's reloading, switch to another weapon and fire that weapon. It's just so cool. Then you hear some like pretty realistic comm chatter as you're operating the AC-130, and it's just like a cool moment. Whether or not that chatter is like actually realistic, but it sounds realistic, and that's all that really matters. Now, when I said earlier that Al-Assad was never captured, I didn't mean like at all. I just meant like by the US. After the US failed, the SAS are actually the ones who eventually capture Al-Assad. But before Captain Price blows his brains out, they find out that the one behind it all and pulling all the strings is the Russian ultranationalist leader, Imran Zakhaev.
Sir, it's his cell phone. Who was that, sir?
Zakhaev. Imran Zakhaev.
And then it cuts to a flashback mission where you play as Price before he was a captain, in what is one of the most memorable and iconic Call of Duty missions ever. All gillied up. Yeah, this mission rules. You sneak your way through fields in a ghillie suit and a silent sniper rifle, hiding in bushes and tall grass, crawling past enemies, under cars. It's just so awesome. Then you end up in the ghost town of Pripyat.
50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. Look at this place. 50,000 people used to live in the city. Now it's a ghost town. Never seen anything like it.
Where you perch up on top of the hotel 3 days before Zakhaev is supposed to arrive. And then as he arrives, you watch through the scope of a Bear 50 cal, and you can't just shoot it. There's wind that will curve your bullet and things that get in your way. It's such a cool moment. You really have to wait for the perfect moment to fire.
Target is down. Nice shot, Lieutenant.
And when you finally take the shot, you fail at killing Zakhaev and only end up severing his arm. The shot obviously reveals your location, and you quickly try to make your escape with them all coming after you. Then there's this epic moment where you take out a helicopter that's been chasing you this whole time, and then it crashes, and you watch as the propellers spin as the heli glides across the ground towards you, and the blades just ripping up the ground, coming at you like a fucking buzzsaw. And then after the helicopter crashes, your partner, Captain McMillan, is actually injured, and you have to carry him the rest of the way. And then anytime there's enemies, you have to put them down to shoot at enemies and then pick them back up and continue going. And then you get to the exfil site where you'll make your stand by a Ferris wheel, and what is probably the hardest part in the whole game. Seriously, this mission gave me a ton of trouble when I was a kid, and even after replaying it, it was still kind of challenging. You basically just have to fend off waves of enemies while you're waiting for extraction, and like there are a lot of waves of enemies, and they come from different angles, and your partner is just like sitting on the ground because he's injured and can't move. But he can sit upright and like shoot at enemies too, but like you still like try to like stay in safety and like shoot all the enemies. You can go out and put like C4 around, and then the C4 will go off, but it only gets like so many. You still gotta shoot them, and then you run out of ammo, and then I gotta pick up another gun on the ground, and then I run out of ammo in that gun and pick up another gun. Then there are dogs coming at you too. It's a challenging mission that feels like it takes forever, but you succeed, and you and your partner get extracted. And then it cuts back to present day. In order to lure Zakhaev out, they just had to go after his son. You go kill enemies, steal their clothes, then you go stake him out where you believe he's going to be arriving.
Man, you look like a clown in that outfit. Good thing you're up here, because you look nothing like a Russian.
Lots of shooting becomes involved.
We got company, sir. Enemy reinforcements to the...
And after a lengthy chase, you finally catch him. But before you can get any intel out of him, he takes his gun and kills himself. Oh, come on. Bummer. Also, side note, during this mission, there's someone in the air that's like giving you call outs to where enemies are. Like they'll say like 3 enemies around the corner to your right, and then they're just there. And it's like, it was a super neat mission to just like run through these alleys and then hear all these call outs of where the enemies are. I don't know, I just thought it was super neat.
Multiple hostiles on the other side of that iron fence. 2 hostiles coming up on your right flank. Yeah, you got him.
So as you would imagine, the death of Zakhaev's son angered him. So he takes control of the launch facility in the Atlay Mountains, where he threatens to launch nukes at the US.
We got a problem here. Delta 1 X-ray, we have a missile launch. I repeat, we have a missile. There's another one. Delta 1 X-ray, we have 2 missiles in the air. Over.
So then, to counter in a joint operation between the British and Americans, you take out some power lines. And then Price leads a team into the facility to stop the launch. Don't worry though, it's like a short one-word password to stop the nukes. Easy peasy.
4 minutes.
Stand by for confirmation.
Anyways, after that, you make your escape off some trucks in a fun little final mission where you just sit in the back of a truck on rails, shooting at enemies and taking out helicopters, until you get to a bridge that gets blown up, and then you're forced to make your stand there. Now, as you're fighting, making your last stand on this bridge, there's a tanker truck behind you that explodes and disorients your squad. As you're trying to recover, Zakhaev shows up and he's walking forward to kill you. And then a Russian loyalist helicopter shows up and destroys the enemy helicopter. And then in this distraction, Captain Price slides you his gun. And then you, as Soap, take the shot and finally kill Zakhaev. Mission over, roll credits.
Recalibrate on the sweep angle, adjust elevation scan.
Now again, it's not the most complicated or insane story, and it doesn't become this super over-the-top Michael Bay action movies that the later games become. It's just like a somewhat grounded, realistic story that's just like super fun. Oh, but don't forget to sit through the credits, because after the credits, there's actually a bonus mission called Mile High Club. Another iconic mission, which to my knowledge is unrelated to the story and takes place on a double-decker airplane. You have to fight your way through to rescue a hostage and then make your escape. and you also only have a set time to complete this mission, and the time varies depending on what difficulty setting you are playing. Yeah, it's just like a neat little mission which actually inspires what soon becomes Spec Op missions in later Call of Duty games. So that's it. That's the Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare campaign, horribly summed up by myself. But like, you still get, you know, you get it. You get bad guy, you kill bad guy and end, you know, simple story. Yeah, replaying this game was a treat. I really enjoyed playing through this again. And in fact, I could see myself turning this into a thing that I do every year. Like, I could totally play Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3 annually as just like a little like Call of Duty campaign event that I do just for fun. I don't know, I just think this is such a well-balanced game. The missions are so varied and different. Like, yeah, you're shooting dudes all the time. There's no different enemy types. They're all the same. They're just dudes with guns. But like, I don't really care because it was fun, you know? You know what? Looking at my script here, I never actually wrote in an outro. So I have no idea how to end this video. I guess I'm just gonna go off the cuff and ramble about something. This video probably sucks, and I don't think the other two videos will be any better. In fact, my scripts for the other games are much longer than this one. So I don't know what's going on there. I think I'll just have to go through and edit them a little bit because they're a bit lengthy. I mean, how much can I talk about a Call of Duty campaign? I don't know, but it's too much, I think. Videos for Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 will come out when? I don't know. When will this video come out? I don't know, because I have other videos that I would also like to put out that are a little more relevant, like some newer games to cover maybe. But I also kind of just want to get this out and done with. I don't think editing will take too long. Fingers crossed. As you can see, I'm really bad at editing videos, so I'm just gonna do it. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, leave a like. If you hate it, keep it to yourself. I don't want to hear about it. Comment something nice to make me feel better. Please. Subscribe, that's another thing that you can do on YouTube, but that I forgot to say. Do that part, because I don't have anybody. Okay, bye. What the oh, he's in the fucking closet? Are you kidding me? What the hell?